Group F, Tom. So Belgium, this golden generation's been golden for a long time. At what point do they start to lose their shine?
I think it may have already happened, unfortunately. You've got Lukaku and Eden Hazard, who are both looking past their best. Alderweireld and Vertonghen in central defence have a combined age of 68, both playing their football in Belgium now, which is not seen as a positive. Vincent Kompany, of course, managing Burnley, will play no part here. So it does feel like they are looking a little bit like England's golden generation at this point. A lot of high hopes, but failing to translate that to actually going deep and winning a tournament.
One player who's still at the top of the game is obviously Kevin De Bruyne. How much is hanging on him?
Clearly, on his day, he's one of the very best players in the world, but Belgium will hope for a lot more from him here than at the Euros, where he went into it injured after that horrible collision in the Champions League final. We will see about Belgium. It does feel like there's a lot on De Bruyne, and it does feel rather like this is the slightly sad end to the Roberto Martinez cycle rather than the optimistic beginning.
Croatia are also in a group. They have a history of being the sort of people see as a dark horse that perform well at tournaments. Will we see that again, do you think?
Yeah, I really like Croatia at this tournament. They've got a very solid midfield with Kovacic, Perisic and Brozovic. Some more problems up front for them. They haven't really replaced Mario Mandzukic, but he is still there in a coaching capacity. They've got a very solid defender as well in Josko Gvardiol, who plays for Red Bull Leipzig. Very, very high hopes for him. I think they could go deep into this tournament again.
It's always hazardous to compare players that have come through to all-time great players, but is there anyone that could reach that level that Modric has?
Yeah, there's Luka Modric, who is another energy drink fan playing in Salzburg. The manager of Croatia, Zlatko Dalic, said that he should keep Croatia at the top of international football for the next 10 years, so no pressure there whatsoever. Old Luka is still playing with Croatia, of course, as well. He's still sort of first name on the team sheet, despite being 37.
And Canada were a slightly unexpected top of the CONCACAF group. There seems to be quite a lot of hope for them. Is that justified, do you think?
It could be. John Herdman, their manager, is the first manager to ever lead a team into the Women's and Men's World Cups. He had a few tournaments managing the women for Canada, which I think is probably quite a big advantage to have that knowledge of tournament football. It's such a rare thing. I think experience of that, even with a different gendered team, is probably very positive. They were very, very impressive in qualifying. They kept a decent defensive record despite some concerns about them. They were loads of fun going forward. They've got Alphonso Davies, of course, from Bayern Munich, and Jonathan David as well, the striker, who will be the only striker at this tournament who shares his name with the Bell and Sebastian song.
Morocco.
Yes.
Morocco, a team that have made a managerial change recently. What's behind that?
Their former manager had a falling out with the Chelsea player Hakim Ziyech, who's clearly the biggest star in this Morocco team, didn't play him. That was not sustainable. So Ziyech is back in the fold despite not really playing for Chelsea. He is their big hope really at this tournament. I've got high hopes for a much smaller player, Ilias Chair, the QPR midfielder I've seen plenty of in the last few years, who's been absolutely fantastic. He's only 5'2" as well, so could be a fun player to keep an eye on, probably off the bench for Morocco. I'm going to take Croatia to top this group, and I'm going to slightly controversially predict Canada to be the second place team, and group stage exit and heartache for Belgium. You heard it here first.